It's about to go down. It's the Larry W. Robinson Show. Filled with talk and inspirations, spotlighting gospel sensations. Larry W. Robinson Show. And inspiration for your eternal destination. Larry Robinson Show. Let's talk about it. It's the Larry W. Robinson Show.
Welcome to the Larry W. Robinson Show. Of course, I'm your host, Larry W. Robinson. I am excited. One of my friends is with me today. We are going to talk about the 7 things believers can do with their money to prosper their family destiny. In other words, we want you to prosper from generation to generation to generation, not just prosper while you're alive. And then, of course, you don't leave an inheritance for your children and children's children. So that's basically what we're going to talk about today. How to prosper you as well as your children and children's children. The one and only founder and president of Church Accounting Services, Gil Michelle, is with me today.
Hey, Howard.
What's up, sir?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Larry?
Doing pretty good. I'm excited. You have a mission of educating, informing, inspiring people and communities about finances for life. So welcome to the broadcast, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad that you have me today.
Awesome. Let's get rocking and rolling. The 7 things believers can do to prosper their family for life, and then, of course, generations to generations. I'm curious. What's number 1 on your list, sir?
Well, number 1 is insurance. I don't think people realize just how powerful the whole concept of insurance is. So many people die, and many times in our families, in our community, we see people scurrying and trying to get the money and pony up the money to do a decent funeral and burial. And many times the family's left feeling like they've been left off worse after we've passed. When after we pass, our family should actually be left better. And so we should be leaving an inheritance, and a powerful tool for that to happen is through life insurance and making sure that we are not just insured, but we're fully insured. Many people have some insurance, but even some people are underinsured. So we want to make sure that we are fully taken care of, so that all of our expenses are taken care of, and that we don't leave a burden with our families, but actually we leave them in a better situation.
You know what? The big question is, especially when you talk about insurance, I hear so many people ask this question, which is better, the whole life or the term?
Well, if a person is a little bit more disciplined and astute financially, I would tell that person to go with a term life insurance. That means it covers, it leaves a certain amount of money, and you have it for a certain amount of time. If you are finding that, you need a little more help to invest money and have some other things in place, then the whole life would probably be more appropriate for that family.
All right. Talking today with Gil Michelle. He is the president of Church Accounting Services, talking about 7 things you can do to prosper you as well as the future generation of your family. What's number 2 on your list, Gil?
Well, number 2 I have is managing your debt properly. And so many times we hear, like you'll hear from other financial ministries, and they'll talk about no debt. You should have absolutely no debt. Well, that's great in a perfect world, and a lot of people are able to do that. However, I think the more mature view is to know how to manage debt properly, and so there is debt that is actually not a bad thing. So I think what's important is that people know how to manage that debt. So you shouldn't have 20 credit cards that are fully at their limit at high interest rates, because that's just not wise. Mm-hmm. However, if you have a house and you have a mortgage and you're paying extra on that mortgage, you're paying it down, technically you have a debt. But the good thing is that you're managing it well. If you had to sell that house today, you could sell the house, you could pay off the existing debt, and then have the rest for yourself. And so it's better, I think, to be able to utilize other people's money, especially if you have it at a good rate, rather than to use your own and expose yourself totally. So that is my second point, is that you learn to manage debt properly, and that if you know how to work it and manage it properly, you could actually wind up doing much better if you had no debt at all.
That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
Number 3.
My third point here is entrepreneurship. And sometimes I'll talk to people, and I'm by nature, I'm an entrepreneur. I know you are as well, Larry. And so some people tell me, hey, I'm just not built that way. I have to go to a job, work that job for 40 years. I'll get my watch, I'll get my retirement, and then I'll go on and collect my Social Security. I do not have any desire to own my own business. And I'll say to them, even if you never own your own business, you should approach your job like it is. And so the reason I say that is because what people are looking for now when you go onto a job is ingenuity. They want to know that you're coming there to bring value. And if you do that and you approach even your jobs with that mindset, you'll change your financial outlook for eternity. And so, I hear this all the time. I'm not meant to have my own job. And what people are not, the reality is people are not staying on jobs for 40 years anymore. As soon as you show like you're on a decline in the least bit or you plateau, employers are looking to rehire and replace you. And so you have to start thinking outside the box. And I say to people, if you don't even think that you're built for entrepreneurship, still invest in that area. And people call it a side hustle, a side job, whatever you want to call it. It's extra money, and you should start thinking in that direction.
All right. Talking today with Gil Michelle. He is the founder and president of Church Accounting Services. You can visit him on the web at churchaccountingservices.com. We're going to take a quick break and come back and give you more tips to improve your finances for yourself as well as future generations of your family. Stay tuned. There's more after this.
Hey, yo! Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Stay tuned for the Larry W. Robinson Show.
What's up, everybody? This is Jussie Smollett from Empire. For over 105 years, the historic Pineywood School has specialized in equipping the heads, hearts, and hands of economically disadvantaged students from around the world with a first-class education. 100% of its graduating seniors go on to enroll in college or vocational school. However, the Pineywood School needs your help to continue training young minds for another 105 years. We ask for your support to help sow into Pineywood's mission of developing the minds of our future. Log on to pineywoods.org to find out more about Pineywood School and how you can give from the heart.
Now available, Get Up and Get Over It. Tips, ideas, and strategies to live your life to the fullest. A new book by Larry W. Robinson. Using his accumulated knowledge of the human heart, Larry W. Robinson has written an inspiring, positive book that will help push you to lift up over your challenging circumstances and raise your aspirations to the sky.
I'm Donald from New Jersey. I was challenged with moving on from the past. But Larry's book inspired me to let go of the past and look towards a brighter future.
If life has thrown you a curveball and you feel like you can't Get Up and Get Over It is for you. Get your copy in Amazon.com or www.larrywrobinson.com. That's www.larrywrobinson.com.
Turn his up.
You're listening to The Larry W. Robinson Show.
We're back and you are still tuned in to the Larry W. Robinson Show. I'm talking today with Gil Michelle. He's the founder and president of Church Accounting Services. You can visit him on the web at churchaccountingservices.com. We've been talking about 7 things you can do to prosper yourself as well as the future generations of your family. All right, Gil, what's number 4 on your list?
Well, number 4 is to invest. And that simply means putting money somewhere where it will grow, where you don't have to stare at it every single day. And so there is tons of opportunities. If you want to start on a small level, there are mutual funds, there are full-blown stocks, and there's a ton of financial instruments that you can use to start doing that very thing and start to invest. So that's my number 4.
All right, number 5? Number
5 is to instill a strong work ethic. Even Warren Buffett, who is, I believe now, the richest man in America, has said that I'm not leaving all my money to my kids. I want to teach them that there are certain things that they need to work for. And so I think we need to do also the same thing as working on a $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 level. Is one of the best things my father instilled into me is a strong work ethic, to work hard and to work smart.
All right. And number 6?
Number 6 is to rethink education. And when I say that, I mean, if you're going to college and you're going to amass a $100,000 tuition bill and student loans to go into a career that is only going to pay you at most $40,000 a year, that is not a good investment. And maybe you should rethink how you go about education. Education is important, but it is also, as we said in number 4, an investment. And so if you are going to go to college, community college, trade school, see how exactly that investment in your education is going to come out, or what kind of yield it will give you throughout your life. And we have to start rethinking how we invest in education.
Oh, that's a good point, because a lot of people don't do that. They just go and invest all that money, and very rarely do they recoup on their investment. All right, we're down to the last one, Gil, and I know this one is so passionate for you. So what's number 7?
Number 7 is the obvious answer is to be generous. Right. We can't think. God is not mocked. If we sow little, we reap little. And that doesn't just mean in the basket at church. It means into the lives of others. It means into our kids, into our families, around our needs that are around us. And if we are generous with our hearts, then God will be generous with us. He who gives to the poor, the Bible says, lends to the Lord. And so, man, who better to lend money to than to God? And when we are generous, God makes sure. And if we're generous to others and generous to him and to the work that he's doing and what's around us, he makes sure that we're taken care of. And there is no better way to be taken care of than by God.
That's good. That's good. Talking today with Gil Michelle, founder and president of the Church Accounting Services. Visit him on the web at churchaccountingservices.com, talking about 7 things that you can do to prosper yourself as well as the future generations of your family. Gil, any final thoughts and comments you'd like to leave with our listeners today?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you're thinking about your financial future and that of your family, think the cross, the direction upwards, being generous, giving to God, but also think side to side, the lateral side, the horizontal side of the cross, is that what we do in our everyday lives as well. Both make an extreme difference, how we give to God, how we give to others and to our families. And let's make sure that we do that in balance so that we can live balanced financial lives as well.
All right, I agree. You're tuned in to the Larry W. Robinson Show. Visit Gil on the web at churchaccountingservices.com. Stay tuned to the broadcast. There is more to come right after this.
Hey, yo!
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Stay tuned for the Larry W. Robinson Show.
Hi, I'm Tasha Page Lockhart. For over 105 years, the historic Piney Woods Schools has specialized in equipping the heads, heart, and hands of economically disadvantaged students from around the world with a first-class education. 100% of its graduating seniors go on to enroll in college or vocational school. However, the Piney Woods Schools needs your help to continue training young minds for another 105 years. To find out more about Piney Woods and how to give from the heart, log on to PineyWoods.org.
Now available, Get Up and Get Over It. Tips, ideas, and strategies to live your life to the fullest. A new book by Larry W. Robinson. Using his accumulated knowledge of the human heart, Larry W. Robinson has written an inspiring, positive book that will help push you to lift up over your challenging circumstances and raise your aspirations to the sky.
I'm Donald from New Jersey. I was challenged with moving on from the past, but Larry's book inspired me to let go of the past and look towards a brighter future.
If life has thrown you a curveball and you feel like you can't Get Up and Get Over It is for you. Get your copy in Amazon.com or www.larrywrobinson.com. That's www.larrywrobinson.com.
Hi, this is Larry W. Robinson. Thank you so very much for tuning in to today's broadcast. Take a moment to visit my website, LarryWRobinson.com. Again, thank you for tuning in to this conversation, and thank you for listening to this station. Be blessed.